Participants will be equipped positively with skills to enhance their employability.
Federal government reaffirms commitment to job creation and industrial harmony.
So this training today is the first pilot program of introducing the CNG initiative to Kano State. As time goes on, we'll be training more people who would be able to do more conversions.
Kano youth get starter parks in national CNG rollout as federal government urges public to disregard misleading subsidy removal reports. And we're also following up on the recent fatal accident on the Mabushi Bridge in Abuja, with residents urging relevant authorities to stop the menace of motor park touts across the country.
In the normal share, if as an AMAC or a union, if you want to attend to a driver, you attend, with caution.
This their overwork is what is affecting we drivers that is working as driver as our daily food.
Now let's begin with some taken earlier today from Kwara. The city's heartbeat is clearly a buoyant, powerful force. This is not just the oldest and biggest city in Kwara State. It is a living tapestry of history blended with the promise of progress. Of course, Kwara State is renowned as the home of harmony, where a unique symphony of cultures, traditions, and aspirations coalesces with a community renowned for its profound stability and warmth. But do not mistake the harmony for quietude. There is also the spontaneous melody of commerce, blending with the growing concerns of human endeavors. For most people, Ilorin is a reminder that we can be agile, steadfast, and spontaneous, yet deeply rooted in our past and present. Hello, and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Juma Yusuf. Tonight, we'll be bringing you news from Lagos with Adiola Kamia-Kere as our anchor from that axis. And Benny Adams is here with tidbits, live in our Abuja studio to bring us some of the latest business news. And Francisca Bele is our lead tonight for the sports news. Remember, you can watch this newscast on all our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Now, we hear that some state governments have plans to enforce a ban on house and land agents to curb exploitative practices like high fees and extortion, with states like Ebonyi already setting their sight on a 2026 enforcement date. Now, NTA wants to understand the views of Nigerians on this approach. Do you think an outright ban will suffice, or would you prefer some form of regulation? You can join our online survey on this issue, and the question is, which approach will you support to best address extortion and high fees by property agents across states in Nigeria? Your responses will help inform the debate on the best way to regulate this sector. Scan the QR code soon to be displayed on your screen. Click on the link and let's know where you stand. We'll get the result at the end of the newscast. Now, President Bola Tinubu has departed Abuja for a working vacation in Europe as part of his 2025 annual leave. The president took off from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at approximately 1:45 p.m. this Thursday afternoon. He was seen off by a delegation of public officials, including governors of Lagos and Imo states, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and some ministers. The presidential advisor on information strategy, Bayo Onaniga, in a statement, disclosed that the president's vacation will last 10 working days. It adds that President Tinubu will spend the period between France and the UK before returning to the country. And Vice President Kashim Shettima has reiterated President Tinubu's commitment to diversifying the nation's economy and also standardize the country's architectural framework. He stated this when he received a delegation from the Nigerian Economic Society and another delegation from the Nigerian Institute of Architects at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
The first meeting with the Nigerian Economic Society, Vice President Kashim Shettima cited President Tinubu's recent trip to Brazil, which resulted in the signing of 5 memorandum of understanding covering aviation, foreign affairs, science and technology, and agriculture. saying these were deliberate steps to diversify the nation's economy. Describing the Nigerian Economic Society as one of the oldest organizations in Nigeria's economic ecosystem, Vice President Shettima solicited the society's support for the actualization of the renewed hope agenda.
It's one thing to understand the issues at stake. Taking those painful decisions is another ball game altogether new. You can discuss with us on how to ensure macroeconomic stability, because knowledge is not something you can buy in the market square. You have to acquire it. You have acquired the skill set, the intellect, the capacity for value addition. But without proper engagement.
President Nigerian Economic Society, Professor Adeola Adenikinju, said for the administration to consolidate gains recorded in the economy, government must be intentional about the reactivation of the Economic Intelligence Unit in the presidency to provide evidence-based advisory for the president. He also announced plan to confer the society's highest award, Fellow of the Nigerian Economic Society, on Vice President Kashim Shettima at its forthcoming national conference on September 9th in Abuja. Meanwhile, the federal government is considering constituting a presidential task team for the conceptualization and operationalization of good architecture in Nigeria. This was one of the requests made by the Nigerian Institute of Architects, and Vice President Kashim Shettima assured the institute, saying the president is a dependable ally who is ready to work collectively to move Nigeria forward.
If this country succeeds, the black man can hold his head high in the gathering of the clan. I want to implore on you to support the government. We will in turn reciprocate by supporting you, by involving you. Because expertise, as I said earlier with the Nigerian Society of Economists, it's not something you can buy in the marketplace, no. Experience, skills are things that you have to learn and earn at a price.
President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Mobolaji Adeni, said the reason for their visit was to share the vision and mission of good architecture in Nigeria and its role in delivering not only the renewed hope mandate, but the all-round attainment of the UN Sustainable Development Goals for the country, urging the Vice President to be the country's champion of good architecture, to elevate design as a national priority and making architecture the bridge between aspirations and a reality. She also invited the Vice President to its 65th Annual General Meeting on November 26, 2025, under the theme Architectural Excellence for Economic Resilience. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government is doubling down on its promise of creating employment for Nigerians with the launch of the second phase of its Renewed Hope Employment Initiative. At the flag-off ceremony in Abuja, the Secretary to Government of the Federation, George Akume, reaffirmed government's commitment to creating decent jobs and sustaining industrial harmony. Joseph Osen reports.
Andrew Indengiri, a shoemaker, is one of the 33,000 beneficiaries of the first phase of the Renew Hope Employment Initiative.
They empower me with cash. I have like 6 apprentices under my care.
The positive impact on Andrew and thousands of others, coupled with a growing demand from Nigerians for continuity, has spurred the National Directorate of Employment to mobilize resources for the second phase.
To organize private sector, we invite you to absorb, mentor, and support these trainees. Because the true measure of success of the initiative lies in its seamless transition from training to enterprise.
A significant proportion of these beneficiaries were settled with startup packs and soft loans.
Participants will be equipped positively with skills to enhance their employability, foster entrepreneurship mindset in them, and improve livelihood.
The new phase is being flagged off simultaneously across the country, with 41,000 participants carefully selected from over 400,000 applications. Like Andrew, many in this new phase are optimistic that the program will empower them to become self-reliant or even employers of labor in the near future. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The presidential initiative on compressed national gas has urged the public to disregard misleading reports suggesting that the federal government has removed subsidy or increased the price of compressed natural gas. In a statement, the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas says no directive or policy has been issued by the federal government to alter CNG pump price. The statement emphasizes that the recent pump price adjustment announced by certain operators are purely private sector decisions and not the outcome of any government directive or policy. The federal government assures Nigerians that CNG will always remain significantly cheaper, cleaner and more affordable than petrol and diesel. Meanwhile, in a significant move towards clean energy and youth empowerment, the presidential CNG initiative, in collaboration with the Kano State government, organized its first ever compressed natural gas training program. The 7-day initiative equipped 400 youth participants with practical skills in CNG technology with a starter pack to enable them to open outlets across the state. Fatima Sanusi Karai tells us more.
CNG is set to play a key role in Nigeria's energy transition, and Kano State is now firmly part of that journey. The executive chairman of the presidential initiative on CNG, Ismail Ahmed, highlighted the impact of the program, stressing that CNG adoption will not only cut transportation costs but also create jobs and empower young people.
So this training today is the first pilot program of introducing the CNG initiative to Kano State. As time goes on, we'll be training more people who would be able to do more conversions. We will launch conversion centers. We will open gas stations, mother stations and daughter stations.
And we are happy that we have started training our youth, including women, male, and all those who have shown interest in this CNG.
At the close of the 7-day program, 400 trainees received certificates of completion along with toolboxes, a starter pack to help them kickstart careers in the CNG sector immediately. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Garai, NTA News.
And now to the tragic incident which occurred Wednesday, the 3rd day of September 2025, around the Barracks axis in Abuja, where a confrontation between the motorist and the task force operatives escalated into chaos and death of the entire family. Our correspondent Kama has an update on the development, with residents decrying the prevalence of motorbike touts in the FCT.
I'm standing here at the Banex Mabuchi corridor, where the atmosphere still bears the scars of yesterday's ugly incident. According to eyewitnesses, what began as harassment of a motorist, his wife, and their 2 children by task force operatives quickly escalated. In the struggle, the family's vehicle veered off the road, resulting in the death of all 4 occupants. Enraged residents in a mob reaction descended on 3 of the suspected Abero operatives, setting them ablaze under this bridge behind me.
In the normal shell, if as an AMAC or a union, if you want to attend to a driver, you attend, with caution. But what they really did yesterday was uncalled for.
Harassing people. You don't see, go about harassing people. Okay, look at the family. You wasted them.
They are doing overwork. This their overwork is what is affecting we drivers that is working as driver as our daily food.
Many recalled that the Abuja Municipal Area Council had earlier suspended their operations following public outcry, only to reinstate them in April this year. In the wake of the incident, the FCT Police Command strongly condemned the jungle justice carried out by angry residents, while promising to investigate the circumstances surrounding the deaths and restore order along these busy axes.
Residents are again calling for the permanent disbandment of these task force operatives, insisting that Abuja roads must be safe for motorists and their families for the FCT. Kama, NTA News.
Now, despite numerous hardships encountered by illegal migrants, one tends to wonder why more Nigerians embark on such dangerous venture. A survivor, Mercy Oluwabenga, who was maltreated when lured to Libya with a promise of greener pasture, has been recounting her ordeal. She was received by the chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NITCAM, Abike Dabri Erewa in Abuja, after facilitating her safe return. Let's take a listen to Deborah Bala Bogbo reports.
Maybe my last video. But I just wanted to document something. I'm tired.
Mercy Oluwabenga, a school dropout, seeks assistance as she narrates her ordeal getting trapped in modern-day slavery in the search for greener pasture in Libya. Her case relates to many others who leave the country illegally, believing that the light shines brighter on the other side of the divide. Mercy says she is lucky to escape and return home following the quick intervention of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission led by the chairman, Abike Dabri Erewa.
No matter the situation, don't leave the country, because due to my own situation, I was like, maybe when I get here, there I'll be able to send some to my mom. But when I got even 5 naira, I couldn't even see to send to her. She died. No matter the situation, even if you are seeing 10 naira every month, 20 naira every month, don't go to Nigeria is better than every country.
Anybody telling you are going to Libya, when you are going to Europe, it's a lie. You are being sold into slavery, and then it's voluntary suicide.
NEL Fund program will continue to provide opportunities for Nigerians like Mercy to complete her education rather than drop out for lack of funds. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbobo, NT News.
And we're being joined by the lead character in that report, Mercy Oluwabenga, a human trafficking survivor. Mercy, it's good to see you in person, and congratulations on your return to Nigeria.
Thank you, Mom.
My first question will be what was your reaction when you heard that you've been rescued, and what made you feel safe and supported on your return to Nigeria?
I was so happy. I couldn't believe it, because I already thought I would die in that country. I feel so overwhelmed.
What made you think you were going to die?
Because we were being maltreated. The things I faced in my last boss house.
What were you doing in your boss's house then?
I worked there as an house help.
Okay, so what has been the most important part of your healing process as you begin to rebuild your life back here at home? Are you getting moral support from family as well?
Yes, Ma. I got to hear from my brother, and I thank God I landed safely.
I heard that your mother is still alive?
No, she passed.
Okay, she passed. So you went there for greener pastures. Who in your mind, did you want to support while you worked there to earn a living?
I wanted to support my mom with her medical bills.
But unfortunately, she passed.
Yes, ma'am.
So as you look forward now, what are the biggest challenges you face in being fully integrated back into your community, the acceptance and your message to those seeking greener pasture, following that route that's so dangerous? And I need to ask you that question. How did you follow that route all the way to Libya? Was it safe for you?
No, it wasn't safe at all. Some people died on the road because it took us 2 weeks to get there, and some people it took them 3 months, 4 months. Sometimes.
4 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Through the desert?
Yes, ma'am.
So now what advice do you have for people who are thinking of following that route to Europe? What advice do you have for them?
No matter the situation, no matter what you are going through, no matter anything, do not leave the country because of a greener pasture. When you leave, it is a journey of no return. I am lucky to be here. There are some people that are not lucky.
So now what do you intend to do? What kind of support do you need to get back on your feet?
I just want to put my pieces together, go back to school, fend for myself, and become a normal person, forgetting the trauma I passed when I was there, when I was in that country.
So what do you want to major in? What do you want to study in the university when you go there?
Computer science.
What?
Computer science.
Computer science. You want to join the ICT world?
Yes, ma'am.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mercy Oluwabenga, for coming on this program and sharing your experience with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Amen.
So you're welcome back, and now talking health matters. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, says President Bola Tinubu's administration is committed to reshaping the future of health financing in Nigeria through bold reforms and inclusive dialogue. Speaking at the closing of the 2025 National Health Financing Dialogue in Abuja, Professor Pate emphasized that the four-day event was not a talk show, but a platform to generate actionable commitments that will ensure Nigerians have greater access to affordable and quality health care. He noted that the dialogue, which brought together more than 2,000 participants, including civil society organizations, state governors, development partners, and the private sector, has provided a roadmap for strengthening the health system. According to him, the president's renewed hope agenda is already yielding results with expanded coverage under the Basic Health Care Provision Fund, direct facility financing to thousands of primary health care centers, and over 20 million Nigerians now covered under health insurance. Professor Pate stressed that health must be treated as a core infrastructure and a matter of national security, urging states and local governments to increase counterpart funding for healthcare delivery. Now, the Telepo Support Group is mobilizing dozens of party loyalists on the platform of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, to strengthen grassroots mobilization ahead of President Tinubu's bid for re-election come 2027. Minister of State Education and other top party chieftains were present at an event in Abuja to launch the initiative. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwaga tells us more.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration scorecard is reason for the assemblage of these strategists on the different support platforms. Now the chief mobilizer, Umar Tankoyak Asay, is setting the stage for the renewed commitment ahead of continuity beyond 2027. And Minister Suwaiba is redefining the roadmap.
All the schools in the country, but we are starting with public schools. We are going to do school grading so that we can target our interventions based on needs per school, not only based on needs per state, but we can target it per school. So we are doing this school grading. It's going to be digital also. At the same time, we have rehauled the M&E framework to also make it digital.
From what the minister has narrated, no right-thinking Nigerian would not want President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to go for a second term. This is just one Ministry of Education, one sector. If you go to other sectors, the president has achieved tremendous success, tremendous transformation, setting aright the foundation of this country.
This is gradually gathering momentum as the leaders of various support groups drum up massive support and initiate solidarity movement for the success of the renewed hope agenda. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, the fourth edition of the Gender and Inclusion Summit holding in Abuja is raising questions on challenges hampering holistic inclusion with a view to tackling the issue at all fronts from all sectors. Monso Daniel Detti reports that the Ladikwali Hall of the Continental Hotel was shut down with a massive turnout of participants from far and near.
Excitement fills the air. Purple carpets roll out. Flashes of cameras. Friendships rekindling. Partnerships forming. Networking in full swing. And exhibitions that told powerful story. An electric ambience wraps the venue. A fusion of energy, purpose, and passion. From across all 36 states of Nigeria and far beyond the borders of the country, women, development partners, and gender advocates converge, determined to chart a unified path on the way forward. But beyond the glitz and glamour lies the heart of the matter. Critical conversations on gender inclusion in Nigeria, bridging the gap between policy and practice.
To pay attention to the trends in the diplomatic environment, we will observe that African diplomacy is increasingly focusing on creative solutions that cater to our unique needs, and Nigeria is playing a significant role in this shift.
Today's event aims to accelerate progress towards a gender-inclusive Nigeria through harnessing innovative approaches and amplifying new voices as a strategy for advancing economic empowerment and social development for all.
Ensuring that the people affected are in the room and ensuring that the stakeholders, policymakers, and everyone is converging together and trying to co-create an understanding of the problem and also now begin to think about what the solutions can be. This validates the reason why we started to convene the Gender and Inclusion Summit in 2022.
How do we make sure that we're a bit more intentional when it comes to gender-based budgeting, scaling for women economic empowerment, for women in leadership, and also women's health?
Talk shows, symposiums, empowerment trainings, and impactful sessions full of lessons to carry home.
Given the rights to women and women with disabilities on governance, on education, health.
Momso Damien Ati, NT News.
A three-day consultative town hall meeting aimed at addressing lingering issues between electricity consumers, the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, and other critical stakeholders are put together by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, has held in Oka, Anambra State. Benson Osadebe reports that top on the complaint list is overbilling in electricity service delivery.
The town hall meeting provides an opportunity for stakeholders to have first-hand interactions on how customers' rights can be best protected and how electricity distribution companies can improve service delivery. The Director General of NERC represented emphasized that the Commission is committed to hearing directly from consumers in order to bridge the gap between the distribution companies, DISCOs, and the people they serve.
What we do as a regulator is try to mediate and come in between you guys and see that all issues affecting your supply, which you have paid for, or even the one you have not paid for, are provided in line with NEC guidelines.
Backed by personal testimonies, major complaints raised by consumers include cases of overbilling due to the non-adherence to the CAP methodology, unavailability and high cost of prepaid meters, and the frequent resort to self-help in repairing faulty transformers in their communities.
We have every reason to commend NEC that continue with this and make sure that whatever you say is implemented.
How can you give about face me and face you 8 rooms, 280,000?
In response, representatives of the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company educated the public on safety measures and clarified what constitutes unsafe electrical practices within residential and commercial areas.
We have decided in partnership to run this engagement so that we do more sensitization, and we extended with the on the spot to resolve instant problems.
For 132 kV line, it should be 15 meters on both sides. Then for 330, that is 25 meters away from any structure.
In all, the meeting is having fruitful results as both customers and officials of the EEDC are having a roundtable sorting out issues raised from the meeting. From Oka, Benson, Osadebe, NTNU.
Take a pause here as we join Adiola Kamiakere in our Lagos studio for news from that axis. Hello, Adiola. Studio for news.
And uniting key stakeholders and debt management underscores Nigeria's commitment to prudent fiscal policy implementation in driving economic development. Adejoke Odeka has more on this.
Debt is not the enemy, indiscipline is. This is a guiding principle for the Debt Management Office, Nigeria's national conversation on strategic borrowing, prudent spending, and sustainable growth. With this in mind, the Debt Management Office Nigeria hosted a workshop on borrowing guidelines for policymakers to underscore the importance of prudent borrowing, highlighting that when done correctly, it can drive growth, improve infrastructure, and enhance citizens' quality of life while minimizing risks.
The path forward is collaboration and capacity building. To strengthen subnational debt management, we must prioritize 1. Capacity building, that is, tailoring technical assistance to the specific needs of state government. There's also stakeholder engagement, engaging with multilateral organizations, financial institutions, and private sector partners to share knowledge and resources.
For the Director General of the Debt Management Office, DMO Nigeria, Patience Oniha, effective debt management hinges on accurate data, cooperation, thorough assessments, and strategic revenue generation through borrowing.
If they borrow to finance projects, if you pick social projects like health or education, we know what will happen. Health delivery would improve, school environment, school conditions would improve. They borrow to finance projects like road, until it revenues will come. So it not only improves the quality of life, but generates revenues as well for the state.
The DMO says awareness initiatives are crucial in bridging fiscal gaps, driving sustainable development, and fostering economic resilience, and ultimately shape Nigeria's economic future. In Lagos, Adijoke Odeka, NTA News.
Improving human capital for better results at the core of a two-day training session for teachers and administrative staff of Nigerian military and command schools. Experts say reorientation and upskilling are crucial for driving optimal performance. Awal Yusuf Jibo reports.
Try what I do. You ask him question, he answers correctly.
This training brought together staff of schools under the military watch, with a focus on sharpening skills and strengthening orientation of teachers towards excellence. Ogumbodi De Maria, a music teacher, says the training could not have come at a better time.
This is a kind of appreciation whereby we teachers can do more in the classroom. Not just about teaching now, it's about building lives.
New resources in teaching and techniques in teaching are being taught here. In the old teaching, it is called teacher-centered, while this 21st century teaching is called student-centered by use of collaborative method among students.
Now we want to see ourselves involving the students in learning. So I think that brings the best out of them, more than the teacher always doing the talking in the class.
Stressing the need to align staff performance with the school's long-standing tradition of character building and academic excellence, General Officer Commanding 81 Division Major General Farouk Mijinyawa says the Nigerian Army is ready to take teaching and learning experience to the next level.
I sincerely appreciate the Super Minister, Lieutenant General Oluyede, Nigerian Army Leader, for his visionary leadership, which led to the decision to absorb our temporary staff into the command school system.
At the end of the two-day training, participants are expected to return to their duty posts better prepared to discharge their responsibilities. In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jubo, NTA News.
Those are reports from Lagos. The network news continues with Jumai in Abuja.
Thanks for joining us. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Ebetakun, on his birthday today, 4th September 2025. In a statement, Special Advisor to the President on Information Strategy, Bayo Onaniga, says the President joins the ranks, officers and management of the Nigeria Police Force to celebrate the IGP, whose commitment to the safety and security of the nation continues to attract commendations. He says under his leadership, the Nigeria Police Force continues to demonstrate courage and resilience in the face of evolving security challenges in Nigeria and worldwide. The statement further adds that President Tinubu prays for renewed strength, wisdom and courage for the IGP as he continues to serve the nation. And the Defense Headquarters has enjoined military personnel serving and retired to be disciplined and patriotic while conducting daily activities. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kangie, stated this during the periodic news conference on ongoing armed forces operations across the country.
Unfortunately, the soldiers who retired between 1st January 2014 to 28 July 2024, before the implementation of the new minimum wage, wanted their gratuity and security debarment allowance to be calculated based on the new minimum wage chart. This cannot be done because the policy of the new minimum wage came into effect on 29th July. Soldiers who fall within the category of pre-minimum wage chart are those soldiers who continually protest and construct barricades at the Federal Ministry of Finance, despite being educated on the two charts by Defense Headquarters.
The military, he said, is committed to protecting lives and property. Talking finance, the federal government is set to produce a policy document that will revolutionize the country's industrial base. Minister of State Industry, Senator John Owen Eno, alongside other stakeholders, say the policy, when in effect, will embrace innovation and sustainability. This was at a validation meeting of stakeholders in Abuja. Benny Adams reports.
Nigeria's industrial sector stands at crossroads, confronting immense challenges, yet holding the promise of spearheading the nation's economic transformation. In recognition of this, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in partnership with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, convened a one-day validation workshop in Abuja. The goal? To lay the foundation for a comprehensive industrial policy, a blueprint designed to breathe new life into Nigeria's industrial landscape.
Enhance competitiveness, drive backward integration, and promote local content.
Stakeholders at the workshop expressed optimism that a well-defined policy framework could unlock opportunities, strengthen local industries, and position Nigeria as a true manufacturing hub on the African continent.
It gives us more teeth and greater feeling to make sure that that industrialization that remains a challenge, that we're therefore able to overcome it in terms of the provisions that are contained even in the policy document.
If you can get manufacturing to grow year on year 25%, manufacturing by itself alone can add 6% to the GDP of Nigeria. We are optimistic about this. So I believe that once we pass through FEC, you'll begin to see the difference in less than 6 months, because we are not going to relent.
With this initiative, the vision is clear: to not only revive struggling industries, but to power a future where Made in Nigeria stands as a mark of pride, quality, and global excellence. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
And for more happenings in the world of business, Benny Adams is live in the studio. Benny, what's going on? Let's have the full package of your thoughts.
Well, thank you, Jumai. We start business with the cherry news, where Nigeria has been selected to host the next intra-African trade fair. That is in 2027. It is a multi-billion-dollar trade fair. The announcement was made by Nigeria's former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, who serves as the chairman of the IATF 2025 Advisory Council. During the opening ceremony of the IATF 2025 in Algiers, Algeria. The IATF is a biannual trade fair organized by the African Export-Import Bank in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. It is a major event aimed at promoting economic integration and trade across the African continent.
Generated combined trade and investment deals of more than $120 billion.
Well, that is it on business at this time. Network News continues after this break.
Welcome back. All right, Eagles fans, buckle up. It is crunch time in the World Cup qualifiers and the Super Eagles are perched right on the edge. Nigeria's next encounter comes this Saturday and the equation is delicately positioned. Now let's bring in Badi Adele with an analysis on where Nigeria currently stands and what are our chances of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Badi.
Jumai, the Super Eagles have got themselves in what we call a precarious situation. I'll tell you about it. 6 games gone already, they've got just 7 points and they are 4th in the group. And of course, you know, with just 7 points, they're in trouble. No doubt about that. But 4 more matches to go. How can they qualify? 2 options. The first option has like 3 conditions that, you know, could be satisfied. Now the first one is for them to win their 4 remaining matches. It does look impossible by some standards, but it's very much possible. And the second, you know, option there is for them to pray that FIFA acts on South Africa fielding an ineligible player, you know, and of course with that they could lose 3 points. It helps Nigeria. And the third one is that the outcomes of other matches will just favor Nigeria, meaning a team like South Africa should lose like 2 matches. That would be good for Nigeria. Now, option 2 is for Nigeria to go as one of the, you know, best runners-up in the 9 groups. 4 teams will emerge through that, you know, option. But the 4 teams will not qualify automatically for the World Cup. They'll play a continental playoff, and if you win, you still will not qualify. The job is not done. You now go for an intercontinental that we'll call an interconfederation playoff. If you now win that, then you get to qualify for the World Cup. But that's a long journey. Now, if you're compelling me to give you a third option, I would just say the Super Eagles will just sit at home. Nigerians don't want that, and I believe you don't want that. So those are the permutations for now. Jermaine.
Okay, Badi, thank you so much. We wish them all the best. The process is so long and our hearts will continue to beat. Let's join Francisca for sports update. Francisca, I hear the Eagles are in camp right now.
Of course they are. Now, ahead of their crucial FIFA World Cup qualifier against Amavubi of Rwanda on Saturday, the Super Eagles stars Alex Iwobi and Ola Aino have reaffirmed the team's commitment to securing all 3 opponents. Both players emphasized the importance of not just winning the Rwanda's clash, but also maintaining focus and intensity to triumph in the remaining group matches as Nigeria aims to book a spot at the 2026 World Cup. Nigeria and visitors Rwanda continue to train in Uyo ahead of Saturday's game, with both teams talking tough.
As players, we believe, so if you guys can believe of us as well and give us the energy that we need to go and get the result that we want to do to achieve to go to the World Cup.
We're looking forward to it. At the end of the day, it's another 2 games of football, and we're going to try our best, and we're looking forward to it. So keep believing.
Now, Team Lagos continues to dominate the medals table at the ongoing National Youth Games in Asaba Delta State, securing 37 gold, 17 silver and 14 bronze medals. Edo State is second with 25 gold, 10 silver and 16 bronze medals, while host Delta remains third with 19 gold, 21 silver and 25 bronze medals. Abia State maintains the 4th spot, while Kwara, against all odds, has moved to 5th.
It's actually the results of our intentional strategy. We came here last year, we came second, and it is no doubt that immediately when we left here, we went back to the drawing board. We saw the need to increase the incentives.
Well, that's the size of our package. It's back to Jamal.
Thank you, Francisca. And the death has been announced of Chief Raphael Ejioba Onyeigwe at the age of 90. According to the burial arrangement, service of songs for the deceased was earlier held today at 4th September 2025. Requiem Mass for late Onyeigwe will hold at St. Mary's Catholic Parish, Amaifeke, and interment follows immediately at his compound, all on Friday, 5th September 2025. On Sunday, 7th September 2025, there will be outing Mass at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Amaifeke. And our survey result is in. We asked you about the best approach to address high fees and alleged extortion by property agents across states in Nigeria. 46.7% chose strict regulation, opting for the establishment of official rules, licensing, and a regulatory body. Another 21.9% ticked outright ban, meaning a prohibition of the operations of these property agents entirely. 25.7% chose capping fees and commissions as a measure to prevent extortion and excessive fees charged by these agents, while 5.7% think fast-tracking complaints at regulatory agency may assist in readdressing complaints and help the system to handle issues of fraud. And that's Network News for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. I am Juma Yusuf. Good night.